Hey, what's up everyone? Passive Baller here. This is the second game that we have for today, January 30, 2024, an Eastern Conference battle between the Indiana Pacers and Boston Celtics, which will happen at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be 8:30 a.m. here in Manila. I'm just inviting everyone who have not subscribed yet to our YouTube account or YouTube channel, Passive Baller. Please click on the subscribe button below. At the same time, hit on that bell logo. That way, automatically, you guys will be receiving notifications whenever new videos are uploaded. Approaching this game, Indiana Pacers, they got a record of 27 wins and 20 losses, while for Boston Celtics, they are at 36 and 11. We all know that we actually provide free picks right here in our YouTube channel, but for those who would want to avail our premium picks or premium packages, you might want to reach us through Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp, or even Messenger account. Just go ahead and check on the descriptions of our videos and you will see the details right there. By the way, the spread that is given is minus 7.5. That's given towards the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics, they would have the home court advantage on this. In terms of fatigue, well, it will be Indiana Pacers who would have the advantage because Boston Celtics actually had a game last night. They went up against the New Orleans Pelicans and they actually won that game, but it wasn't really an easy one. While the Indiana Pacers went out with the rest. Now for momentum, this one's a bit tough. I mean, both teams are coming off wins, but it's actually Indiana Pacers who's having this streak. Approaching this game, they are on a 3-game winning streak. While for Boston Celtics, they are coming off a win, but for the last 10 games, Boston had 7, and for Indiana Pacers, for their last 10 games, they had 5. I gotta give Indiana Pacers a slight advantage though, because again we're talking about momentum, and when we talk about momentum, the latest games are the ones which are really looked at. And again, for Indiana Pacers, on their last 3 games, all have been victories. Now let's take a look at the availability of the players and health of both teams. For Indiana Pacers, we have 4 players in IL: Miles Turner, Jalen Smith, Mathurin, and Halliburton. All 4 are actually listed as questionable for this particular game. Now that actually makes this one really tough or really tricky. Again, all those 4 are listed as questionable for Indiana Pacers. Now for Boston Celtics, I only see a couple of names down here. Both are their centers, Luke Cornett and Kristaps Porzingis. Both were out yesterday against the Pelicans, but right now both are tagged as questionable. So again, we still ain't sure. I gotta say that Boston Celtics would still have a slight advantage though, because again, they only have 2 in IL, while Indiana got 4. Alright, again, this one's gonna be tricky. I mean, we don't know if the number one player that I'm looking at is Halliburton. Of course, Halliburton is going to be Indiana Pacers' source of scoring. And it's not like they don't have other scorers, but of course, Halliburton can actually give them 25 points easily, right? Not only that, Halliburton is also passing the ball effectively and is also confusing the defense of the opponent. So, if Halliburton would be there, it's going to be a huge, huge plus for Indiana Pacers. Not only that, of course, Miles Turner is going to be their main guy in the middle, especially in terms of defense. And Miles Turner has just turned himself as a legit scorer. You can't just leave Turner open outside, and he would actually put that ball in. For Boston Celtics, they have 2 players who are in IL. Both are their big, so. Again, we ain't sure whether Kristaps and Cornett would be playing, and we all know that Kristaps would actually bring a lot to their table because of Kristaps is actually giving them great defensive presence inside the paint, and of course Kristaps Porzingis is also a very effective scorer. So again, a lot of question marks still, but right now, if we will consider everything, the 7.5 spread. If we will consider, the previous results of these 2 teams going up against one another, I'm gonna go with Indiana Pacers right here and take the plus 7.5 spread. Boston Celtics, again, they actually played last night, and that game against New Orleans Pelicans wasn't easy. They really had to fight for that. While Indiana Pacers, they are coming off a rest, and I'm like, maybe I'm thinking that maybe a couple of those players in their IL would be able to play. And again, a spread of 7.5 is just a bit big for me, especially considering how good of a score, how good of a scoring team Indiana Pacers is. So my pick on this one would be Indiana Pacers plus 7.5. Again, that's Pacers plus 7.5. Peace out, Pasay love, and God bless.